going on, guys? I wanted to quickly talk about something that Apple did recently. No, it's not about the new iPhone. No, it's not about the new watch. It's the fact that they're fucking over one of their longest running products, and that is the iPod Classic. Now, I have a very large music collection. Okay, I have 225 gigabytes of music. Now, some of that is duplicates, and some of that is stuff that I just have ripped that I saved. So in iTunes, I have 152 gigabytes of music right now that I consider listenable and stuff that I would actually want on iTunes. That's a lot, and I know that not everybody has that. Okay, and I know that there's ways to cheat the system with Google Play and music and whatever, streaming devices. Apple has decided to discontinue production of the iPod Classic. Now, if they did that and they said they were going to be coming out with an updated version using flash storage, we're going to have 130 or 150 or 200 gigabytes of flash storage, and it's going to cost you XYZ. Okay, fine. At least you recognize that there's a large format that you can buy. No, they're not. And, Apple's response was, well, with the cloud and streaming services, who needs that kind of storage? Basically what they said in a nutshell. And people who are defending this decision are saying the same thing, that you do not need to carry around that much music. And I call bullshit on that for a multitude of reasons, okay? Forgetting the fact that my entire music library was saved when I had the fire because I had my iPod Classic backed up recently and it was in my car, which is where I keep it. I keep it in my Jeep. I kept it in the Ford Escape at the time. Hey, I'm interrupting the video here. I stopped the video, was editing it, and then realized I forgot to mention something. So, all the people who own, like me, car radios, maybe some boom boxes, devices that require you to connect your iPod, a lot of them don't run off of the newer Lightning ports, and obviously newer ones will. Guess what? The iPod Classic still has the old, 16 or whatever pin connection, not the Lightning port. So now that that's gone, there is no device currently sold by Apple that will work with all of the various devices that used to work off the old pin connector. Another way to fuck us over. And you're probably saying, oh, well, the Lightning port's the way of the future, blah, blah, blah. Well, what about all the shit that we all already own? And I know that's how the world works, but still, another thing that fucks me over, because let's say the iPod Classic that I get breaks. What do I use? Yeah, I can buy a used one, but let's pretend for a minute that I can't find one. My car radio is useless. The whole reason I bought it, the S305S, which is from 2010, 12, was that it has iPod connectability. Period. That's what I use it for. You've seen videos of it. I've posted them before. Bullshit! Anyway, back to the video. The fact that, the iPod Classic, its style, a device that has a hard drive in it that you store just music on it, is what started Apple becoming very popular with people who weren't just interested in computers. Obviously, you know the history of the iPod development. So then, of course, the iPod Touch came out, and the iPhone, and then the or whatever timeline might be different, but the iPod Nano, the iPod Shuffle, and then, of course, again, like I mentioned, the iPhone, which has the iPod built in. Here's the deal: I'm all for the iPhone. Okay, I like the iPhone, Android, Apple, whatever. I don't mind the Nano. It's a small device. It's simple. It doesn't store much, but whatever. And of course, then you have the iPod Touch, which is an iPhone, but the phone. The iPod Classic was the only device out of Apple's lineup that would be able to literally just play music. No apps, no internet surfing, nothing. And yes, I know you can put video on the iPod Classic, but it's a little tiny square display. I have one movie on there, it's Terminator 2. But that's it. And actually, recently I removed Terminator 2 because I'm building up too much of a collection here. So it was too much storage for that device, or too much data for the storage for that device, so I had to remove the movie to gain a couple extra gigs, just so I wouldn't be over the edge. So now that Apple's discontinued the iPod Classic in favor of whatever the fuck else they're going to be coming out with, what are people like me going to do? What are we going to do that have large collections? What are we going to do for people who like the idea of, you know what? I'm going away for a trip, whether it's a weekend or a fucking month, because there are people out there like me who have huge music collections in iTunes that like the idea of bringing the whole collection with us, because you never know what's going to happen. And yes, I do make playlists. I do make my own albums, if you will, that have like greatest hits and whatnot, so I can sync that very quickly to my phone or my iPad. But this decision by Apple, I can't believe it. It's not even on their website. You type in iPod Classic, the only place you can get it right now is Amazon, and the prices have been jacked the fuck up. Best Buy, where I work now, still has them. Honestly, I'm probably gonna go to work tomorrow and buy a new one. And whether I sell my old one or not, I hope I do to make up some kind of profit. But I can't believe this decision from them. The fact that they are removing from their lineup the only device that is meant for music. And the reasons that they gave, that's a bullshit asshole move, Apple. You know, I can't believe that the fact that, you know, they're a computer company. And the iPod was the first major thing they did, with not counting the different designs of the laptops that they make and the desktops. The iPod was revolutionary. And the Ipod Classic is what started it all, and now it's gone. And I recognize that it's an old device. You know, it's a friggin' hard drive in here. I wish I had it with me. It's a hard drive. Everything else these days, music player-wise, for the most part, Zune, no, that's gone. Everything else is flash-driven. I understand that it's a brick and you can't use apps, but guess what? I don't want a device that's always going to have apps available to be used. I don't want a device that can connect to the internet. If I want something to bring my music around, I want that device. And you know what? I bet you at the end of the day, one of the major reasons that they got rid of it was because it doesn't have access to the App Store. People can't spend money on apps. So basically, you spend money on this iPod, and boom, that's the only money Apple gets from it. Yeah, you might buy music, but you're going to buy music no matter what device you have anyway, because everything can play music now. But the people who are diehard like me that have a large music collection, like I said, we get fucked over, and it sucks. I honestly, you know, I love Apple in the sense that I love how their designs are. I'll be honest, when I look at a MacBook Pro or MacBook Air or an iPhone 5 like I have right now, there's something about the design that everybody loves, including myself. And the history of Apple is very interesting. And I do respect them as a company. But this move that they made, getting rid of the Ipod Classic, I think that's a stupid move. I literally thought it was like The Onion. I thought it was a joke. And the fact that A, it's gone, and B, there's nothing replacing it, that's a slap in the face to music enthusiasts. And those of you watching this who are going to be furiously commenting or typing in the comments, oh, well, you can just use the cloud, or oh, you can just stream music wirelessly. What if I'm in an area that doesn't have data? What if I'm in an area that doesn't have Wi-Fi? I have a Sprint unlimited plan. What if I didn't have an unlimited plan? What if I had only a gig or two a month of data? I'm going to go through like that fucking crazy if I have to constantly download and stream my music. So don't give me that bullshit, okay? The fact that you no longer, with the exception of the iPods that are low in storage, you no longer have a device that will hold your entire music collection. And that was the big marketing campaign back in the day. Your entire music collection in your pocket, the size of a deck of cards. Gone. Rest easy, Ipod Classic. Anyway, this is BSG Trekman 88 here. What are your comments? Do you agree with me? Do you think it's a crappy move? Do you think that it's a good thing? I don't understand how you could. I mean, I can understand, again, people saying, well, you have streaming. But there's too many things that can go against you if you have streaming. No data service, low data amount per month, the fact that it will drain your fucking battery, and the fact that, again, the iPod was just music. You can put a movie on it, but come on, it's a little screen. Just music. Gone. Again, this is the kind of video that I wish I could rant on forever and go over a whole bunch of things, but I'm too tired to do so and I got other shit to do. So anyway, this is BSG Trek for 88, guys. Have a good night.